Hello and welcome. I am Lian Buon and this is Rappler Talk. As we transition to the government of President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., we are interviewing his picks for the cabinet. For today, we have the person who will be heading the Department of Justice, outgoing Cavite 7th District Representative and incoming Justice Secretary, Jesus Crispin Boying Remulla. I'll call you secretary na, sir, para...
No. Still call me, you can call me congressman.
Congressman.
Or representative.
Okay. Congressman Remulla, what's the story behind this? Did you ask for the DOJ in-offer sa'yo? Can you tell us?
I wasn't even part of the campaign team. I treated it as a local matter. And I just campaigned for him in the province. I didn't ask for it. I was called to meet the president-elect 3 days after elections. And I was told that he wanted me. I was told by him personally that he wanted me to assume the position of Secretary of Justice.
Sir, ano yun? No questions asked na sa'yo? Go na agad?
Medyo nahilo ko. Kasi I was already in my comfort zone here. But it's a challenge. And if he asks for me, I think that we have the obligation to serve the president elected by 31 million Filipinos. It's a duty that calls us.
Have you had any talks with the President-elect kung ano ba yung direction niya for the DOJ? What's his marching order for the Justice Department? Kasi ang laki nun, sir, ang daming ahensya under the DOJ.
Well, improve everything. Make everything better. That's the general order. No specific orders yet. Because he's very busy forming the bureaucracy and getting key people. So you don't really want to bother him at this time.
So, sir, pero meron ka ng mga policy ideas ngayon pa lang na naiisip?
Policy ideas... I'm still studying the department, but I have a general idea of how to go about it in terms of delegating work, for forming clusters, forming a type of organization that will be, well, hopefully lean and mean, and will be addressing the needs of our country in terms of the justice system, like the speed of dispensation of justice. And I will be talking to the Supreme Court and the other pillars of the justice system to ensure that what I say will be done. So it's really a question of, maybe one is the design that we make and the political will that goes with it.
So you have any agency under you na talagang kahit congressman ka pa, sabi, nakikita mo na, I have to give a special focus on this agency, parang maraming problema.
Well, the most problems are in... There are two agencies actually with the most problems, LRA and Immigration.
Corruption, sir?
Yes. I've seen it locally, how it works. And just this Saturday, somebody met me. I met a friend who's a client of another friend asking for help regarding Register of Deeds affair. So that's a big problem to solve. And of course, it's already digitized, it's already computerized, but the problems keep cropping up. So computerizing will not solve the problem. It's really it's really the will or the agreement to foster a better department in the minds of all the employees involved, from the smallest, from the lowest rank and file to the top. We have to have one plan to make sure that it's fulfilled and to see what the reasons behind the failure and what can be done to ensure its success.
Sir, some say the most effective way of eradicating corruption is sampulan yung mga tao. And that's why President Duterte created yung corruption task force headed by the DOJ, but it's ad hoc. So anong future nun kay President-elect Marcos and under you? Would it continue yung ad hoc committee?
I will have a monitoring committee, and the NBI is there. I think the NBI can best serve that purpose to make sure that people will toe the line. But sampulan is not enough. People have short memories, remember. And the moment that they see that you're sleeping on the job, they'll be at it again. So it has to be systemic. It has to be by way of aging of the documents, by way of knowing that people are not sitting on papers, and that, well, as I would always say now, after going through some of it, well, the problem in defense lawyers. We will have to go through that with the Supreme Court, so that we will, and the IBP, so that they'll be in the picture.
So expound, what do you mean problem with the defense lawyers?
Well, postponements. They're very good at postponing, and after postponing so many times, they claim that the judiciary is sleeping on the job. They're the first ones to claim that they're being denied their right to due process by the fact that the case has been lingering for a long time, but they're the ones causing it. So we cannot allow that to happen. Their creativity has to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, the limits to their creativity has to be imposed. That is a most important part of the solution to this problem.
Sir, that seems like a Herculean task kasi yung pag-delay, parang yun na yung buong problema ng justice system.
Exactly.
The slow pace, and the
Yeah.
Supreme Court has had, rules of continuous trial, mga ganon. How can the DOJ play a crucial role to that na hindi nag-encroach sa Supreme Court?
No, we will just inform them. We will inform them of the record. That's why I want to talk to them, is that the threshold that we can agree upon for the number of postponements has to be set. Because the DOJ, as you know, are supposed to be always ready for the case, and they will hardly postpone. Only in fortuitous events will they postpone the presentation of a witness. But the defense lawyers have their creative ways to go around it. If their clients are about to be convicted, they will be more creative, so they don't want the case to terminate. So we'll have to deal with that.
Right. Sir, let's go to a more political question. Senator Laila De Lima. Her case, some would say it undermined the credibility of the DOJ kasi yung mga recantation, parang may allegation na nag-conspire the former Justice Secretary, a Justice Undersecretary, an executive of the NBI. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara wants to just let the Office of the Ombudsman investigate. How about you, sir? Would you want to investigate it yourself?
Let the chips fall where they may. Recantations are there. They're part of jurisprudence. Maybe you're aware of them already. The most said line is that recantations are frowned upon by the courts. And at the same time, as I said before, it's a red flag. It makes you review the way that everything was processed. But I haven't yet been briefed by the SOJ team on the Lima cases. So I'm trying to source them from different ways, from different sources of information. And I'm sure that, I will give the benefit of the doubt to the prosecutors of the Department of Justice. I will never embarrass them like that. I will make a judgment without even talking to them. So it's a long study. It's not an overnight study that you make here.
Sir, you said let the chips fall where they may. Are you saying like, let the courts decide na lang how they want
It is a judicial matter. Yeah. It's a judicial matter. I believe that prosecution knows their job, and that I have the highest respect for the Department of Justice. And of course, we know that it's not perfect, but we have to really keep our eyes open on people who may not be behaving properly.
Sir, but the prosecution also has a power to withdraw if they want to. Are you open to at least looking if there's basis?
Well, that's the last recourse, of course. It's the last recourse. On review, if it's the only recourse, it's possible. Anything is possible here, Lian. Anything is possible. But I would let them do their jobs. It's here already. If you go to the ombudsman, then you give up a case. It's not a very good way to do it. Nag-invest na tayo ng oras at tao dyan.
So you're not inclined to let...
Well, hindi ginagawa talaga ng Department of Justice. It has never been done. Meron ka bang alam na kaso na nag-withdraw ang Department of Justice from a fight and then to give it to the ombudsman? I don't think there's a case.
No, sir. I mean yung alleged conspiracy ng mga officials to indict Senator De Lima. Sabi ni Justice Secretary Guevara, ombudsman na lang ang mag-imbestiga kasi they cannot investigate themselves. Baka partial yon. Para sa'yo, sir, parang do you want to see for yourself maybe an admin investigation into the people that were named in the affidavits?
Siyempre. In the process of review, that will come about. That will come up, for sure.
So there will be at least an inquiry.
There will be a study of everything, an in-depth study of it. I know that it's not only the Philippines watching, it's the world watching us. And so be it. We will do what has to be done. I have investigated before in my capacity in the PMS, in my own capacity in the PMS, certain problems assigned to me by the President then. And I know it's a very hard job, but we were successful. So maybe we can do it also now. But it's a more thorough task from Batanes to Tawi-Tawi. It's not going to be easy.
So sabi mo nga, it's a trial that the world is watching.
Yes, yes.
And they watch mainly through the local journalists who cover it. This is a self-serving question, sir.
Yes.
Would you vouch that reporters get to access the trial na kasi we haven't been able to cover the hearings in the courtroom since the pandemic?
Why?
Bawal pa, sir.
Well, we'll have to ask the Supreme Court about the rules. I cannot be the one to say that. It's the Supreme Court that controls the courts. So I cannot vouch for that. That's why I'm going to have
But
a
would
dialogue.
the prosecution be okay with reporters being there?
The dialogue will be there. The dialogue will be set first, and I will not want to preempt the options of the pillars of the justice system. I'm new to the job. I will not act as if I know everything, because I don't.
So, speaking of media, I'm following up on one of your sound bites in your past interviews. You said you want to investigate the link between big companies and media and if there's a bias there or slant. Sir, just to be clear, magkakaroon ba ng investigasyon sa aming lahat?
Media is always necessary in a democracy. It's just a passionate plea to the media to please tell the story, but don't put an editorial on it while you're telling the story. I've been a victim of that. An interview that's supposed to be an interview was editorialized. And you don't like it. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Sana talagang ang passionate plea ko talaga, kaya lumalabas yan, is that please allow our country to succeed. Tayo pa naman sisira sa sarili natin bansa. Sa labas tayo hinahangaan. Dito tayo nagsisiraan. Ayusin naman natin ang ugali natin sa lahat.
So sir, just one more confirmation. There won't be a motu proprio inquiry to media companies because that's what happened to Rappler also, ABS also.
Okay. What happened?
So going to you said na parang wag i-editorialize. There's an editorial in the newspaper.
That's okay.
Also
it's not a problem. Editorial is editorial. It's opinion. It's clear. But when it's news, posing, it's editorialized news, then it's a different matter. Kasi the slant is there already. The adjectives, as I was telling Gigi, the adjectives attached to the name. Why is it necessary to do that? You don't have to do that. So it's already a cut and paste thing. Why the hostility? Why not give the person a chance? Binoto ng 36 million people. Sino ba tayo para hindi siya pagbigyan? Ang Pilipino na nagsasabi na siya gusto namin. Pagbigyan natin.
Sir, but you can understand that pronouncements like that kind of made us fear for a second there kung iimbestigahan ba kami for writing articles. Some would say that's even prior restraint or subsequent punishment.
No. I'm not there. I'm not at that page.
So
I have my own radio program. I'm a member of media.
So sir, how will the relationship be between the mainstream media and the DOJ in the Marcos campaign? Na sideline kasi kami dun, sir. Parang vloggers yung may preferential treatment. How about under your watch in the DOJ?
Well, it's going to be fair. I probably will hold a press conference every month or maybe every few weeks. We don't know how the pace will be. I'll be visible, but I'll appoint somebody to take the job for me, a spokesman to take the job for me.
Sir, you by appointing a spokesperson, you acknowledge that justice really has to be communicated on the layman's level.
Dapat talaga kasi yung justice system that puts the faith in the country. If the justice system works, the country is prouder. Diba? The people are prouder. And even international treaties will recognize if a system works. So it's better that way, that we make the system work. That's the most important thing.
Sir, the other 14 million who didn't vote for President-elect Marcos has some misgivings about you heading the DOJ. You red tag the supporters of Vice President Robredo?
I'm just unmasking them. No, not. I'm not. It's not really Robredo. I was criticizing there. It's just that kind of rally with the pink flags and the balloons simulating a big crowd. That really is NDF's territory. I've known them for the longest time. I went to UP with them. Alam ko style nila mag-mobilize. I know the people paying. I still know them up to now. It's been confirmed by my neighbors there. What more can I say?
But sir, red tagging kasi people who were red tagged have been killed.
No.
Sir, the
Supreme Court has never said that red tagging caused the death because it went before the Supreme Court already. The question.
Zarate versus Aquino ba yung
Yes,
sinasabi
yes,
niyo, sir?
yes.
But no, sir, the recent ones, the ones who were killed in the Bloody Sunday Massacre in in your province, in Cavite,
province?
those were red tag people, sir.
Santos, ano nangyari to? Baka sa Laguna yun?
No,
Hindi sa
sir,
amin.
Calabarzon. One was
Calabarzon, but not in Cavite.
there was one in Cavite, sir, Dasmariñas.
From Cavite or in Cavite?
From both, from Cavite and in Cavite. The case is now pending before the court. Secretary Guevara indicted military agents in that case. This was a red tag labor leader, sir. Manny Asuncion, to be specific.
I know him.
So
I
you,
was very
sir,
sad when I found out.
Yeah. So the progressive ranks are saying when you red tag, you put a person's life in danger.
Manny was a career helper talaga of he was really, identified already as early as before na talagang tumutulong sa mga dumadaan na mga armado. I don't know if that is red tagging, no? But that's how it was described to me by some people in the intel community.
By definition
I
of the...
asked them about that.
Yes, sir. By definition of the progressives, that would be red tagging because that would be
Not
linking them
necessarily.
to
Hindi.
the armed.
Ano yun eh? Yung armed conflict kasi, the moment you help them, you're already an accomplice or accessory. Hindi siya dapat pinatay. Dapat dinala siya sa korte. Dapat yun sa akin eh. Yun ang maling-maling style. Dapat doon, if you have the evidence, then present it in court. Huwag natin isa-shortcut. I don't believe in that.
Sir, yun nga. Actually, yan yung sinasabi ng buong human rights community dito. If you have evidence against either your suspected armed rebel, bring them to court.
Exactly. I believe in that.
So, sir, I'm gonna pivot to one of the two committees na tinutukan talaga ni Secretary Guevara, Drug War Review and the EJK panel, the AO35 panel, both of which wants to put premium on due process. So parang nire-review yung lahat ng mga nanlaban, either drug suspect or activist. How will that continue under you, sir?
Tuloy. Siyempre, kailangan yung nasimulan, ang tawag mo dyan, institutional continuity. Why would you stop a program that is trying to save the Filipino from drugs? Di ba? Mahalaga yung drug war na to dahil ang bawat pamilya sa atin tinamaan na yan directly or indirectly. Kaya mahalaga yan na ituloy yung programa na yan. That makes the moral of the people better when they know that the government is running after these people. Kailangan natin yan. Tsaka talagang nakakasira ng lipunan. I will not be told that to stop. I will not allow people to tell me to stop doing my job.
I'll go back to the drug war review, sir. Si Secretary Guevara rin, sir, has backed a passage of the law criminalizing red tagging. Kasi nga doesn't make red tagging a crime. No law makes red tagging a crime. So in one of his interviews, sabi niya, magpasa na lang ang Congress ng law criminalizing red tagging. Would you support that also?
I don't know because I have to study that. I cannot commit to that, nor will I oppose it immediately. I will have to study the provisions of that law, and I will not call it a red tagging law.
Ano, sir? Anong tawag? Kasi truth tagging ang tawag ni Soljan Jose Calida.
Maybe I will follow truth tagging, unmasking. No? Hindi ko alam kung anong tawag natin. Pero red tagging kasi favors one party. It goes against Philippine government. So I will not allow that.
Sir, when you say it goes against Philippine government,
Yes.
Who, sir?
This is
The armed
only country we have.
rebels.
And this is the only country we have. We don't have another country to go to. Di ba? Pag nawalan tayo ng bansa natin, anong gagawin natin sa bansa natin? Hindi ako magkakaroon ng bias against for or against anybody. But it's my job to defend government. It's my job to defend our people. It's my job, and it's not my job. It's a commitment to defend people's rights. That's the details. That's the biggest part of the justice system that people are looking to, and I believe in that.
Sir, the progressive people will be watching. Natatakot kasi sila that coming into the Marcos government, magpapatuloy yung pinapatay mga kasamahan nila, kinakasuhan, inaaresto.
Kaya nga,
anong mangyayari, sir?
I always think that I would like to recommend an amnesty of sorts, no? That will put the left and the right back to the groove, into the normal life, so they can resume their lives as normal Filipinos. If they don't, kasi yan, pagka na-corner mo yan, o kaya hindi na sila makabalik, lalo lumalala ang problema. Bigyan mo sila ng isang pagkakataon, sabay na bumalik. baka mabawasan ang problema.
Sir, what would be the condition of the amnesty?
I don't know. We have to study that. We have to study that. I cannot, but that is an idea that's come to me as very important.
Siguro,
It's part of the unity statement
Yeah.
of the president.
putting
Left
vice-
and right,
Yeah.
left and right. Yeah, everybody who's now in court, being charged or
Yeah.
or hiding, lahat yan. Pwedeng i-cover yan ng amnesty para
Which was done before naman dati.
nagawa na
yeah.
dati. Kay President Aquino pa
Yeah.
nagsimula yan. So, under this constitution. So, I think it's about time we did it again.
Assuming that ito yung magiging follow-up nila dun, sir, magiging condition ba na hindi na sila mag-rally, hindi na sila magpapahayag ng dissent nila? Kasi I don't think they'll be amenable to that.
Hindi naman eh. Amnesty naman is for people, ano yan, classified lahat yan eh. No? Hindi naman criminal na mag-dissent eh. There's
Correct.
nothing criminal about
Correct.
dissent. So, what's the point? Diba? Nothing, yung people who really are in court charged or are hiding from the law, and people who are also being charged and hiding from the law, from both sides, hindi ka ba natin ang paraan para makauwi na sila sa mga bahay nila?
Alright, sir, I'll ask for your opinion on here. Kasi you will sit as a member of the Anti-Terror Council. Pero, effectively, boss pa rin kayo ng mga prosecutor. So parang ang precarious nung role that whatever the ATC will designate, prosecutor ang hahabol sa kanila. So parang wala na rin silang labas kasi both the Justice Secretary already decided with the ATC. Sila rin yung boss ng prosecution. Parang tapos na yung laban para sa kanila pag ganun. Parang wala silang fighting chance.
Alam mo yan, pinag-aaralan yan. Information yan. No? Evidence yan. If it's there, do it. If it's not, wait. Study it more. Compile your evidence. That's what has to be done. If there's enough evidence, then do it. Ano yan eh? Criminal talaga yan eh. I mean, we have to defend our country against terrorists. Ano, matatakot kaming mag-rule dahil makikriticize yung proseso? And the process was refined in Congress for so many months. The questioning went on for so many months about this issue. So kaya, it's not a red tagging issue. It's a prosecution of people who are actively engaging in a war against the government through armed means and other means that cause terror in the minds of people.
Do we expect more designations to come, sir?
I don't know. Hindi pa ako umuupo doon. Wait, you have to give me... I haven't even started a meeting of the Anti-Terror Council. The moment I sit there, maybe 2 or 3 times, I will know what has to be done.
Sige, sir, babalik ako dun sa drug war review. So you
Sige.
would continue it?
Yes. Continue it, but I will not stop the government from doing it. I might caution them on some red flags again. And
Red flags like nanlabat?
Hindi, marami yan. It's really the pattern that goes into it.
Sir, some would interpret that as, continuing the drug war review, some would interpret as that kasi kailangan nyo yung i-prove sa International Criminal Court so that President Duterte is spared. So to prove that the domestic systems are working. Is that the reason why you would continue?
We have a functioning domestic system. Di ba? Meron naman tayong functioning domestic system. Yung efficiency lang ang ini-improve natin eh. We're not changing, we're not reinventing anything. It's an efficiency we have to do. And of course, yung conduct ng method, conduct and method has always been part of the issue. We look at it.
So Sir, Undersecretary Remulla, the DOJ would still try to keep away the ICC from the drug war, President Duterte?
That's not the goal. It's not the goal. I mean, well, of course, the ICC is there, and we have a functioning judicial system. So, kung wala tayong kasalanan, anong kanilang trabaho, di ba? So, we just wait. Tingnan natin how it goes.
Kasi sir, ang criticism kaya lang naman daw nagka-drug war review to keep the ICC at bay.
I don't know. I wasn't part of it, no? I know, I'm new to the job. But
what's your view, sir, on international systems?
Pinag-aaralan.
What's your view on international systems? Kasi merong school of thought na that's encroaching on our sovereignty, ayaw natin ng mga dayuhan. How about you, sir? Pag ICC, what's your take on them?
Ano yan eh, it's not meant to be, we do not want to submit to any court unless we are dysfunctional. Di ba? Bansa natin to eh. Ano, papayag tayo na ibang tao magja-judge sa atin? Pero nakakahiya naman. We can make everything work here.
But but the relatives of the victims of the drug war would say the opposite. Ilang taon na daw silang naghihintay. Wala pa rin silang
Tingnan natin yung
judgment.
record of postponement.
Is that a promise, sir, to the relatives?
So, pero yung postponement, huwag sana nanggagaling sa kanila. Sana nanggagaling lang sa prosecution. Kung meron talagang attempt na, panipisin o kaya pahabain para walang mangyari, hindi ako papayag talaga.
Sir, some cases were not even filed.
I don't know.
Kaya
sorry,
I think yun yung tinitignan talaga ng drug war review under
I will look at
Secretary
it.
Guevara.
I will look at it.
Sir, I'll ask your opinion
Kasi
sa...
evidence yan eh. How can you
Yeah.
file a case with no evidence? We have to look at it that way. If there's no evidence, how can you file a case? You go to court empty-handed? You never do that.
What the preliminary findings of the review found is that in administrative sanctions sila in the PNP level, they were given meted out suspensions pero hindi nakaabot sa prosecution. So, yun yung isa sa mga narereklamo even by the CHR na hindi naman nag-progress. So, cases were left unfiled.
Oh, yun nga, yung evidence gathering siguro ang kailangan maayos natin dito. That's what it's all about. You go to court with evidence. Diba?
Sir, I mentioned CHR. I'll ask for your legal opinion kasi ako hindi ko rin alam. Sino bang mag-a-appoint, sir, sa commission ng CHR? Is it President Duterte or President Marcos? May midnight appointment ban ba kapag constitutional commission? Napag-usapan nyo na ba yan?
Ano yan, kasama yan. Bukas ang last day ng CA.
Wala pa, sir eh.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Wala pa, sir. Wala, as in, wala pang, kasi kaka-retire lang ng mga, ng recent commission. So we're wondering if...
Hindi na sila pwede mag-retire.
Wala, empty, effectively, ang commission.
Ano na
ang
kasi,
CHR
meron
commission.
hindi na... I don't think the president can still appoint now.
Okay.
Kasi outgoing na.
Okay.
So it will be President Marcos.
So it would be President Marcos.
Yes.
Sir, so ang tanong dyan ay, CHR, according to CONCOM records, was really established to respond to the abuses in martial law, and yet the son will be appointing the commission.
This is the paradox
of
of all. This is the paradox of all. The person who is to assume office was very much affected also by the way this constitution was passed. But, diba? He's assuming his power, his duty under a constitution. He will swear by it, that he will do, to the Filipino people, that he will obey and defend the constitution. So be it. He will do that. And I have no problem, but it's just a paradox that I want to point out. No? The 1986 constitution was really written by the Cory government to make the Marcoses liable for everything that they were alleged to have done. I would say alleged because most of it is still ongoing.
So yun nga, 36 years, ongoing pa rin.
Pero elected sila ng tao. Elected doon ang biggest majority of the Filipino people. What is more important now? The sovereign will? Or what? Di ba sovereign will muna?
Sir, with you saying that magkaka-chatchabab under President Marcos? Kasi
there might be some areas where we have to comply with some laws if there's a view that some laws may be defective or deficient. And well, there's a lot of talk already about electing. Many people are telling me about why not make the Senate regionally elected instead of nationally elected. Less cost, more direct
so essentially
constituency.
Federalism.
Yes, leading to
Targeted
federalism.
to federalism.
Yes, targeted to federalism. It's the only way that we can really equalize the opportunity in the country.
So sir, syempre, Partido Federal nga siya. So really, we're really on resuming the track to federalism that didn't quite happen completely under President Duterte. Under President Marcos, full on yun.
Ano yan? Hopefully, no? I still have to consult him on that. It's a personal point of view of mine. I mean, based on what people have told me, the discussions I've had with many of the lawmakers, and we'll wait and see. But it's a honeymoon period now. Might be the only chance that we can amend the Constitution.
Sir, babalik ako sa CHR. Although nagtapos na yung sunset clause nung Human Rights Claims Board, ganyan-ganyan, CHR would still be parang very kabit sa martial law, compensation, and everything.
Ironic, di ba? Ironic.
Yun nga, sir, parang baka baguhin yung mandato ng CHR is the fear of some.
Ano yan? Kaya kailangan ma-discuss yan. It's going to be... Pero hindi. We need that. I think we need that. But without any more pointing to people because meron sunset, di ba? May sunset na yun eh.
Tapos na.
Tapos na. Pero tingnan natin. Meron pa nga meron pa nga silang martial law museum na itataas, di ba? Kilala ko nagtaas niya classmate ko eh.
Sir, yun nga. So parang do we expect all of this to happen or are we beginning to see the end of institutional rememberings of martial law?
Ano nga actually, ba't martial law lang tinuturo natin kung paghihigpit sa Pilipino? Ano ba ginawa ng Kastila sa atin? Ba't kinakalimutan natin? Sinakop tayo, di ba? We were colonized. Kinawawa ang Pilipino by the means of the pulpit, di ba? Ang Hapon, ganoon din, ginawa sa atin. Amerikano, ginawa sa atin. Ba't Marcos lang dedicated to? Ba't di natin palawakin ang kanyang scope para talaga makita ng tao na hindi tama ang sakalin ang kalayaan ng tao. Yun na lang kaya ang paggawin natin. Ba't natin kailangan maghati-hati nang dahil sa isang bagay na ilang taon sa ating kasaysayan vis-a-vis our 600 years as a country?
Sir, maybe because the repression during martial law is the ones that still felt today.
No. Yeah, being felt today, I don't think...
The ASSO, sir, some would say para siyang ASSO reincarnate ang anti-terror law.
No. Ang ASSO, dadampuntin ka talaga. Ano mo, yung naging problema rin yung abuso ng military talaga. Yung problema natin noon. And yan, I was also invited for questioning by the MISG when I was a young student. I went through that. I don't like that. Diba? Sino ba gusto mo, napipick up ka, bata-bata mo, tapos yung mga kaharap mo doon talagang nakakatakot, di ba? Ayoko nun. I don't like that. Kaya lang, sinasabi ko lang, to correct it properly, yung perspective kasi, para siyang agenda na ng ibang tao na lagi na lang papunta sa pagpapasama ng Pilipino. Hindi naman tayo, yung mga taon na yon kumpara mo sa 600 years, mas marami pa ginawa sa atin ng Hapon sa Amerikano eh. Di ba? Marami pa tayong ibang pinagdarasan na napakasakit sa ating bansa. Ba't doon lang tayo nakaturo? Di ba political na yan?
Sir, hindi daw po ba possible na mag-progress din naman tayo while still not giving up remembering history?
No, kasama naman yan. It's the way that teachers teach eh. Pero at the same time, di ba? You should look at it on that perspective as a country. Kasi yung mga bata, baka akala nila yun lang paghihirap natin. Hindi na pag-aralan yung kasaysayan natin under Spain, under Japan, under America. Pag-aralan din natin. Ba't nakaturo dun lang? I don't like that bias.
Okay. Sir, moving on to another topic. The United States, if they already haven't yet, will probably soon request for the extradition of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, who endorsed President-elect Marcos, and DOJ would be at the forefront of that process, if ever, DOJ and DFA.
We cross the bridge when you get there.
How would you assure, sir, the Filipinos that the DOJ would be, and the DFA, or the executive government in whole, will be impartial? In-endorse niya yung nakaupong Pangulo, and they have a very close, SMNI has a very close relationship with President-elect Marcos. How can his executive agency, department, be impartial to that?
May treaty tayo. We'll follow the provisions of the treaty. We'll go by the process.
So, sir, lahat ng international agreements natin will stay?
Ba't mo? Anong gusto mong
Not lahat.
Anong gusto mong alisin natin? Meron ka ba recommendation na
Sir,
alisin natin?
The House, I think last year discussed death penalty kahit nabawal siya sa ICCPR, di ba? Parang people were arguing constitutional.
Wala na tayong sovereignty, hindi natin pag-usapan.
Sir,
so walang
what's
freedom,
your
walang
view?
freedom of walang exercise of freedom to debate on an issue. Yan ba yung gusto mo? Parang yung sa inyo na lang, hindi pwede yung sa iba.
Sir, sinong sa inyo?
Hindi, yung antay lagi naman antay yan eh. That's the agenda of the people who are always who never give government a chance.
So sir, basta pag kay Pastor Kibuloy, due process.
Siyempre, due process yan. We have to follow the process of law. Para saan pa yung treaty na yan? Para saan pa yung departamento kung walang due process? Yan ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat.
Sir, last na lang, down to my last topic, yung PCGG, kasi President-elect Marcos or his spokesperson said, pwede namang i-expand law permitting. Ang sinasabi ng ibang tao, if you expand it, edi nilabnawan mo yung exclusive mandate niya na to go after only the ill-gotten wealth of the Marcoses and their cronies. Kasi kung ibang officials, there's the Office of the Ombudsman. They have an office for that. So ano po bang plano sa PCGG?
You know,
That would be under you, sir.
Yun nga, sabi ko yung paradox, di ba? And he has to uphold the Constitution. Yun di ba? What's the paradox of it?
So how do
He
we...
will swear, he will go there to Luneta with his right hand raised, taking an oath to obey and defend the Constitution. So, there's nothing more to say about that.
So how should we view the paradox? Should we view it as there would be steps to dismount some of the things?
I really don't know now. But I don't think we want to rock the boat right now on that matter because it's not politically correct.
Okay.
And there are pending incidents in the courts. But I don't think it's right for us to do anything drastic about that. Kasama yun sa ating saligang batas, especially in the Constitution.
Sir, what is the timeline yung for now? 1 year, 2 years?
Hindi pa ako natatrabaho, ikaw naman. Allow me to get to the office and warm myself there.
Sir, last na lang, kung baka meron kayong machika sa amin, do you know who will be PCGG head, OSG?
No idea.
Would you magre-recommend ka ba, sir? Kasi under mo yung mga
OGCC,
yan.
I'm recommending somebody. OGCC.
Can you name, sir?
Wag muna.
Wag muna. But you would want to be able to recommend people who will
Of course. I want to be the one to vet them for him.
Yeah.
For him before he appoints them.
Alright, maraming salamat sa oras. That was incoming Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Boying Remulla. That's been Lian Buan. Thank you for watching Rappler Talk.